But let's take it back. I feel like we skipped over. Would you ever do at that time when Tupac was in New York? This is 93, 94. You wouldn't? Okay.
No. One of the last people to see Biggie alive was Bill Oldham. He was following him around.
Oh, FBI guy.
No, well, Bill was in an FBI task force.
He was the one doing surveillance.
Yeah, and then
in L.A.
And then the last second they said, let's go, and they pulled off.
They got I guess, what do you guys call it? It got discovered that they got, Puffy realized, somebody told them that they were following, FBI were following them, and they got word, so they said, let's just pack it up and go. There's a conspiracy theory, I'm not sure if you're aware, that Bill and these FBI guys were witnessed the shooting when that isn't the case. Greg had to clear that up.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing.
You know, a lot of people love to believe in the conspiracy stuff, too, and
why would you? If the feds are watching you, the last thing you need is a picture of you with Tupac's killer.
That's funny that he said that, because he actually was. Because, I feel like when I heard that in the documentary, the Murder Rap documentary, I feel like maybe he just didn't want to be seen with Keefe, and that was just Puffy's excuse. But he actually was, FBI was surveilling Biggie and Bad Boy at the time, right?
They had left the day before. They left after the Source Awards.
Source Awards, I think it was a Soul Train, or either Soul Train Awards, Source Awards, either or.
Yeah, I always get those confused. I think the Source Awards was the one where Suge got on stage. Yeah, so the Soul Train Awards. Yeah, I always get those confused.
All we know is it's some sort of award show.
Award show it took place the night prior to the shooting, and that's when Biggie, received an award.
They actually got wind, Bad Boy and Puffy. Actually, did they get wind that? How did they get wind that FBI were surveilling them out there in LA?
Oh, because some local cop, saw these guys out there. They went over and asked them, and they're like, "Yeah, we're out here on surveillance. We're looking for this particular suspect. We're doing some follow up from some New York stuff." And that individual went back and brought it to the attention of the people in, I think, in Bad Boy. I'm not sure. Whoever the cop was that was working that night,
right?
There was a
Reggie Blaylock
with Reggie. Maybe it was Reggie. I can't remember, so I'm going to hold off. I can tell you what Reggie did the night of Biggie's shooting. If he was there the night before at the Soul Train Awards, and he's the one, I'm not sure. But I think Mike Dorsey did a deep dive on that one too. So you can look that up and see all that information, how that unfolded, how Puffy became aware of the fact that the FBI was out in Los Angeles and kind of tagging along, seeing what was up.
This LA gang detective approaches Bad Boy's security team outside the shrine and, quote, as an officer safety issue, the detective advised Inglewood PD officer Blaylock of the NYPD intentions. So he warns Blaylock about what may be about to go down, just to make sure that he's safe. And then it turns into a scene from like a cop movie. At some point in the evening, Puffy sees the NYPD detective, and Puffy waves at the NYPD detective. And the NYPD detective waves back. Technically, it says they wave at each other as if they know each other. Regardless, everybody goes their separate ways, and the New York detectives in their surveillance. And essentially, their operation has been blown. Whoever was the subject of their surveillance now knows that they're being watched. The original Wilshire Division detectives had already spoken with Detective Oldham from the NYPD back on March 13th, just 4 days after the murder. And they were told by Detective Oldham, who had done the surveillance at the Soul Train Music Awards, that he had left LA around 3 or 4 on Saturday afternoon, which was only about 9 hours before Biggie's murder. But he adds that 2 of his partners stayed behind. But he's adamant that they, quote, were not at the museum the night of the homicide.